Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Stop.Sit.Surrogate with Kennedy and Ellen. Today we have a surrogate as our guest. And go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
I'm Chantale. I'm a Canadian surrogate. I've completed one journey, had a second journey, not completed, and now I'm on my third journey.
Oh, you're on your
Oh,
third.
exciting.
Okay. So
I love
Canadian.
I know.
That's kind of fun. Yeah. Because we just got all the ins and outs of Canadian surrogacy because it's way different than US surrogacy.
Yeah. I've listened to all your podcasts, so I know a little bit about you guys.
It's crazy how different it is. But
yeah.
Okay, so I mean, the question that we always ask, how did you even come to surrogacy?
I always had it in the back of my mind, like ever since, like even before having kids. But when my sister-in-law was having issues conceiving, I had talked to her about it, saying, look, like I'm done having kids, so if ever we need a surrogate, like I'd be open to having that conversation. Thankfully they ended up having their daughter, and like they didn't, but the idea just stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
And at the time I was in a relationship and he wasn't supportive of it, so I put the idea aside because it wasn't a priority.
Okay.
But like a few months after we ended things, it's like, all right, let's do this.
Freedom.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I've been there. Okay, so you said you're a Canadian surrogate. So have you done your journeys independently, or have you gone with an agency?
So I didn't want to attempt it independent at all the first time because, well, for one, I was a one and done. Like a lot of people say.
Right. Just the one time.
Yeah. So I just I started Googling and Facebooking to search agencies in Canada, and like I applied to a few, but one of them reached out. And I just connected with her, and she seemed really nice. She reached out right away, and she was very friendly, very good with words. So I signed up with her.
Nice. I have one question. When did your journey start? What year? Because you said you're on your third.
Yeah. So end of December. Well, actually I matched December 2020. Yeah. December 25th, 2020. That's the day I matched.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle of COVID. Like,
yep.
Yeah,
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing else to do, so I might as well do this.
Yeah, like why not?
Yeah.
So was it a Canadian couple or international?
Yeah. It was a Canadian couple. They're about 8 hours from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that on your wish list? Somebody local or no?
Kind of, yeah. I want to be able to visit them, and so that's what I wanted.
Okay. Well, and is it a same-sex couple or heterosexual?
Heterosexual.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. When I first matched, so the agency, the way it worked, they get you medically cleared before anything. So you don't match with anybody before, which is great because I don't want to get my hopes up if I'm not going to be cleared.
Right.
Yeah. So
no, that should be protocol. It'd be nice if it could be protocol everywhere, but I know that it's difficult, but what a dream.
Yeah. So the way that agency works is like that. So, and before even looking at intended parent profiles, so you have access to all of their database, and you read through the profiles and you see which one you want to, you pick 1 to 5 couples that you'd like to speak with.
Okay.
So that's the dating.
Yeah.
That's the dating phase of it. So you get to know the couples and which ones you connect with and what priorities you both have and what's on your wish list type of thing.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at because she had intended parent ID cards before reading the entire profile. And there was one couple I was like, well, if I'm going to match here, it's going to be with that couple. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. That's great.
Yep. So you guys, so since it's during COVID, I'm assuming you meet via virtually.
Yeah, we started, I think, by email, and then it ended up in a group text between me and the intended mom and dad. And yeah, so we started texting pretty much on a daily basis, and we FaceTime a few times. And I asked them if they wanted to match on Christmas Day.
Oh, Oh,
Yeah. I'm like, well, I want to do this today. This is a nice day to do it.
yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
cool. Okay. So when you get, so you're already medically cleared. Super nice. So then what, from there, do you just go to legal?
Pretty much. Yep.
Nice.
Frozen or fresh for them? Frozen?
Frozen. They had 2.
And were they tested?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they were. Well, in Canada, you can't know the sex before, so you
Right.
can't.
That's interesting. So it's a crapshoot.
You can't. Yeah.
It's so interesting. I mean, I get it, but like, it's so interesting. So interesting.
It's different.
Yeah,
It's so different. Yeah.
Do you, for medication then? So, okay, hold on, wait, because my mom kind of jumped a little. So you get medically cleared, then you get matched, then you do contracts, and then you start meds?
It depends. So I'm all for natural because I've had issues with like birth control and all that. I get migraines. So when I get migraines, I'm kind of out for 2 days, and I'm a single mom. I'm a mom of 2. So I don't like relying on people to take care of my life.
Yeah.
So we did a natural cycle, which still includes some meds, but you don't do like estrace and patches and all that non-fun stuff.
Is it
like I still...
Sorry, is it like Lupron and stuff?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. I didn't do Lupron. I didn't want to do that either, but it wasn't in my protocol anyways. So basically for that journey, it was on the day of, so they follow your natural cycle. So I have to get blood work every day until I ovulate. And then, which I'm fine with needles. Well, especially by now.
Yeah.
So you do blood work every day. And once they see your levels peak, the next day it drops. So the next day you need to get an ultrasound to check your lining to see if it's okay.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So if it's good, transfer is set for like 5, well, it depends which clinic, but 5 to 7 days later.
Okay.
And so on transfer day is when I started the PIO injections, and that's once daily, just 1 mil once daily. I believe, I was on what is it? I was on 2 medication, 1 antibiotic and 1, I don't remember which one, but to prevent infections. I was like on that for 5 days before the transfer.
Okay, that's pretty standard. Yeah. Okay.
How crazy. Okay, because we've never talked to like somebody who's done like a natural cycle, and so many people are curious on how this works because it's fascinating.
Question. How close are you to the clinic? Because you're going every day.
Yeah.
So I did satellite monitoring because there's no fertility clinic within 9 hours of me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm way up north. I'm
Okay.
up north in the boonies, pretty much.
Okay.
So I did the monitoring just because here we don't have like different clinics. It's the hospital.
Yeah.
But they knew of my situation and it was fine. We did the blood work every day. But they don't get the results the same day, which is where it can get tricky up here.
For sure.
So you kind of have to be proactive. So anyways, my first journey, it worked out amazing.
Okay.
Like from matching to transfer was, I believe, I think I wrote it down, 60 days.
Matching to transfer was 60
Wow.
days. Girl,
so we got shit done.
End of February, you're transferring, 2021.
February 22nd, to be exact. Yep.
That's fast. That's great.
Yeah, it was, but like I'm like that. I get an idea in my head. It's like, let's do this.
Right. You're funny. So, and it's great that the parents, that the intended parents weren't like, well, I have 2 things. You found a clinic that would do natural cycle, right?
Well, they already had their clinic, so we just went with their clinic.
And their clinic was obviously totally okay with a natural cycle.
Yep. They had no issues with it. It worked perfectly the first time. Like,
nice. Yep. And so do they put 1 or 2 eggs in? What do they put?
One. Okay. I did not want to.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm not a 4 embryo type of girl.
I don't blame you. She did 5, had 3.
She did 5.
Yeah,
she did 4.
Oh no, did you have 5 or 4?
4 what?
Embryos.
Oh, 4 embryos, 3
okay. 5.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, that's
but,
the
Yeah, oh my gosh. But okay, wait, and now I have a question. Okay, so because you get medically cleared before your match, therefore you don't really know what clinic you're going to. So, right?
But so yes, but the agency has their favorite clinic.
Okay.
But at the same time, I didn't have to do the sono. They just accepted. What did we do? I've done so many tests lately. I
No,
don't.
you're good. You're good.
I don't
But you
quite
did-
remember. I
You,
just
but you got medically cleared at a different clinic than the clinic that you did your transfer and stuff at, or no?
no. It's pretty much the same clinic, but I did everything satellite. I did
Okay.
everything up here.
Okay.
I believe we had just an ultrasound to check.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just had an ultrasound to check.
Lining.
Just a basic ultrasound. Yeah.
Okay.
So because the clinic's that far away for transfer, obviously you're going to the clinic, the one
Yep.
that has the embryos
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's like an 8 hour, a 9 hour drive. Are you flying that
Yep.
or are you okay?
I love driving. I love driving.
drove
So
it?
I drove there. Yep.
Girl, did you have somebody go with you?
No, I went by, me and my kids.
they
No,
went
actually, my
too.
kids, they didn't come that time, actually.
Okay.
We
Okay.
went to visit them later on. But yeah,
Okay.
no, just myself. It worked out perfectly. Their dad was able to take them for that time. It worked
Perfect.
out. Yeah, no, everything lined up.
Okay.
Love that. Okay. So what was your protocol afterwards?
Yeah, that's
Like
what
bed rest?
PIO injects, aspirin every day. That's,
Okay.
I think, a basic.
Mhm.
And then the PIO until 10 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, huh?
That's
No
it.
suppositories, no nothing, huh?
Wait, you didn't have
Wow.
I'll take a natural
Wow.
cycle any day.
It's pretty awesome. And I have a naturally thick lining.
Okay.
So I believe my lining was 12.
Oh, that's great. That's what they
Nice.
want.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Did
This
you
is
have
like-
bed rest?
Yeah.
Nope.
Afterwards.
No, they put a timer.
Okay.
I have to stay there laying down for 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. 5 minutes.
Oh, I had to do
That's
it
my
for
bed rest.
15.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
5 minutes? And
5
then you
minutes,
start your life? Like then you go on with your life?
Did you drive back
No.
like after the 5 minutes?
So when I drove there, because I was getting pretty close with the intended parents, so I stayed over at their place. So we hung out for, I think it was there 5 days. So like I got to know them, to actually know them. So it was really nice.
That's so nice.
Very sweet.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was really nice.
I love that we get to hear all these stories where people are like having
Nice.
great times with their IPs.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my first journey though.
Okay, that's fine. I told
Just
you.
build it up there, Chantale. Just build it up, girl.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. That's how they start usually, right? They start really good,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you got to put in a little mixer somewhere in there. Okay, so how'd your pregnancy go?
Yeah.
No hiccups, no bumps, nothing
Sweet.
whatsoever. They came down, I think I was 37 because they come to you for you to give birth.
Okay.
They came down, I was I think 37 weeks and like 2 days,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
And I gave birth at 38.5.
Naturally? Or did they induce? Naturally.
No, naturally. Yeah,
It's
so
just all natural throughout this whole
Yeah.
thing. It's just natural.
Nice. It's nice.
my daughter, my oldest, total labor was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
2 hours, 10 minutes. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
2 hours?
Yeah, it started with the water breaking in the morning. Just boom. Like I thought I had a lot more time before she came, so I hopped in the shower and took my time. It's like, yeah, no, we gotta go.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So I thought my son, my second one, would have been like quick. I'm like, well, I can't really go anywhere as of 37 weeks because if this one is like the last one, it's gonna go quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was 16 hours, so I'm not really impressed with him.
So
Thank God he's cute.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
crazy.
Yeah. Well, my son's placenta was in the back. I believe my daughter was in the front. I don't know if it makes a difference.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my surrogate baby the placenta was in the front.
Oh, well, it makes a difference for you.
Yeah. So my surrogate baby was out in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 hours and
Okay.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Because we're in COVID, is the couple there?
Ah.
Are they allowed in the room?
Yes. So, well, I live in an 8,000 people town, so everybody knows everybody, and they knew of my situation, and I made sure that they were allowed in because, well, I don't have a partner, and I wanted them there as my support
Okay.
people because I'm
That's-
going through this journey with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were both allowed in. It was the most magical experience. Yeah,
Kudos to
Yeah.
your hospital for allowing them in.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
heard
They're
really
they're pretty amazing.
yucky stories
I-
about COVID
I don't
and all that stuff.
understand people that would do that. It's like, this is not fair. Like, normally they'd
Yeah.
be there, but it's not
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Right.
So it got so complicated. Like, I mean,
Ugh.
it got so complicated, and some hospitals are just really strict, and I get it. Like,
Have to keep
especially
everybody safe. There's a
peak of
lot of
it,
yeah,
yeah.
have to keep
Yeah.
everybody safe.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I get it, but that's great. Kudos to
Yeah.
them. So yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
So then, who was your support people during
My
your
intended parents.
Intended parents.
Oh, during my
Yeah.
journey.
yeah during
well,
no just like
intended-
during your journey? Yeah.
I'm very independent, so I've never relied on anybody.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm used to doing everything on my own, so it didn't. It's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep living. I didn't
Okay.
really need any support. Like, and thankfully, like, the pregnancy was easy. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
yeah.
for you.
But like, I do have my family and friends if I wanted to vent or
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How were they when you were like, hey guys, I'm gonna be a surrogate? Like,
Yeah.
were they like, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But like, oh my God, like, good for you. Like, the only
Oh,
person
good.
that wasn't really on board just because he didn't understand was my dad.
Sure. Okay.
He's old fashioned. He thinks that it's in your body, it's yours,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Right.
Really not.
True.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
the older generation is hard to
Yeah.
I think grasp that term at times.
Yeah. It's
But
okay.
fine. Okay. So how did your delivery go then? Quick?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She flew out. I think I was at the hospital 35
Oh.
minutes. She did. She did.
Oh my God.
I had to tell the nurses to like hurry up and get the room prepped because she was coming out because my water broke. Like, I was at the hospital and like, I think 10, maybe 5 minutes before she actually flew out, my water broke. I'm like, all right, guys, my water broke because we were waiting in a separate room while they
wow.
were prepping the labor room.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, tell us if anything changes. And then she starts walking away. As she's walking away, my water breaks. I'm like, well, my water just broke. So you might want to.
My
So
God.
typically your water breaks and babies are born, yes?
Yep, apparently.
There we go.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah,
So
they just slide out
parents-
with the water.
Parents are in the room, yeah?
Yep.
They get to see the whole birth. They
Yep.
get to immediately go and, be with baby, and skin to skin probably starts to happen and all of that, yeah? And this is where I'm feeling like you're by yourself now, like, because they're in gross, but are they super supportive at that time too?
They were. And so baby's out. 2 minutes later, I kind of have my phone in my hand and I'm kind of videoing the birth. And I look at the video so often. I'm glad I did that because those are memories like I'm gonna have forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't feel alone. I got to FaceTime my kids before school.
Yep. That's
How
sweet.
are they with this whole process?
Yeah, how
can
old
you-
were they?
Yeah, do you mind ask? Yeah, how old?
Born in 2021. So my son was 5, my daughter was 7. Does that make
They
sense?
understand
Yeah.
at that age. Yeah, they get it.
They
So how were
understand.
they with it? Okay.
Yes, well they love my intended parents. So it was fine for them.
Oh,
Yeah, they loved being part of it. They loved visiting them and them coming to visit. So it was great. Yeah.
that's cool. Very cool.
That's very sweet. So since we're on the subject of your kids, I just want to ask, because you know that's the question that's out there all the time is, oh my gosh, are your kids affected by surrogacy?
Negatively.
Are your children affected by surrogacy? Negatively?
No. Negatively, no. Well, second journey, yes, but not the others.
Whoa, we
Yeah.
gotta get to that second journey, girl. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Woo.
let's wrap this first journey up then. So then, how is
Does
your
everybody-
relationship with them now? Yeah, with your IPs now and baby now.
Can we back up just 1 second?
Oh, we're gonna back up. Okay.
All right, but you're in the hospital. How does it work? Are they getting their own room? Are they staying with you the whole time? And how long is everybody there?
So if there was no room, we would have been stuck in a room together, which I would have been fine with. But
Okay.
they had a room right beside mine. There's two labor rooms, and then there's 2 recovery rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small hospital.
Wow. So you guys got the recovery rooms. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So funny.
And
So-
then they go home after they're released, or do they come stay with you?
So they rented, I think they rented a hotel room here. So they stayed for 4 days after.
Okay. Okay, nice.
So
Good for them. Wow.
sweet. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. And how's your relationship with them
So
now?
cool.
Now it's kind of non-existent because of somewhat my second journey, and they needed time to heal. So they kind of pushed the relationship aside, which is kind of not what I wanted.
Was the second journey with the first parents?
So all my journeys are kind of tied together, but not.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
intrigued. Okay.
So while I
Yeah.
was pregnant with my first journey, unfortunately, friends of mine lost their son at 24 weeks.
Oh gosh.
And I had spoken to them before hopping on a surrogacy journey that I wanted to be a surrogate, and she had spoken up that they might end up needing the surrogate before she got pregnant.
Okay.
But then she got pregnant, so I was super happy for them, like awesome, like you get to
Yeah.
experience all of this. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, they lost him at almost 24 weeks. So
Oh, that's
obviously, well, after like my first journey, I was a one and done. No way I'm doing this again. This is the perfect journey. I'm a one and done.
okay.
And then they lose their son. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there for them if they need me. Like
Oh.
100%. I don't even have to think twice about this.
Very sweet.
Yeah. So when I gave birth to my first surrogate baby, that's when we were in contact with my second, because my second intended parents were friends of mine. So we kept in contact, and like we just kept the communication open. They popped up more in my life. And like I told them, like, I'm up for this if everything goes well with the birth. Like if I'm gonna have a C-section and all that, I've never had a C-section, so I kind of not gonna sign up for something that I'm not sure of.
Right.
So
You're on board if everything goes well with your first journey. Is that what you're saying?
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And everything looked like
Yeah.
it went textbook with the first journey. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So so then we started talking more, and then like I wanted to wait till so I gave birth in November 2021,
Okay.
and I wanted to wait before starting to transfer till September. Like I wanted to give my body time, and like
Oh, fair.
that was my perfect timeline. So like we slowly started talking, and I did the medical clearance in July. Excuse
Okay.
me. July 2022. I get the medical clearance. I did a sono. I had to go up there in Toronto to the same clinic that we used
For the first one.
Okay. Yeah. So
they know you.
during my pregnancy, my second intended parents signed up with the same agency, same clinic. They created their eggs, all of that.
Okay.
So my medical clearance, this time I actually had to do a sono. Not fun. I did not like it, did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
The procedure itself was fine.
Yeah.
It's afterwards. I had not cramping, but it kind of felt like one contraction all evening.
Like a spasm, huh?
Yeah.
Just a continual.
Yeah.
Yeah, all evening. It was such a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Sono was perfect, medically cleared.
Okay.
And then, so my timeline, like one about boundaries was my timeline. I didn't want to start before September.
Okay.
And also like they were aware, like another one of my boundaries was I wanted to do natural cycle because I don't respond well to hormones.
Yeah.
Like I know my body.
And you just proved
Work.
it can be done.
Yeah.
And plus same clinic. So like it's all in your favor, really.
So I get medically cleared, and then we start contract, and then something happened in their lives that made them realize that they were eager to start their family. So they wanted to move up the timeline.
Okay. By how much?
Just by a month. Just by like a month or two, but it wasn't working for me. I wanted like this was one of my boundaries that I set.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they knew this.
Yes.
Anyways, so that we hadn't even done contracts. I told them like I'm sorry, but this timeline works for me, and
Okay.
like we wouldn't have had contract time to do contracts before anyways.
Yeah.
So we stick to the timeline I proposed in the first place. Then they start doing contracts, and then another thing came up, which was a boundary we had talked about again. Yeah. And while I was on vacation, the intended mom called me crying because all of a sudden the intended dad didn't want to proceed anymore if we didn't change this in the contract.
What?
They had just had an appointment with their lawyer. So before thinking, she kind of called me.
Wait,
Like,
what are we changing in the contract?
Well, hold on. I don't know. Are you allowed to say? Because I don't want you to get in trouble.
Don't get in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble.
It's something very basic that I had asked
Didn't even
them,
think-
like, I want this change. Like,
Yeah,
this is
okay.
what I want to change to.
Okay.
Like, this is one of my boundaries. You guys
Okay.
know about this.
Right.
We talked about it. You guys agreed.
And then that's what he wanted to switch.
Yep.
Okay. I'm on board.
Yep.
I got you.
Did
Okay.
he even give a reason? I don't need to know. I'm not asking for if like for the reason, like, but did he even give a reason, or he's just like, I just want it changed?
I think well, I didn't see or hear any of his reaction. This is
Oh.
all from the intended mom.
Okay.
She called me crying, saying like, oh my God, he doesn't want to go through with this anymore if that doesn't get changed to that, and I don't know what to do. And like, I was on vacation visiting family.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't need
I
that.
didn't, yeah, I listened to her. Like, her feelings are valid,
Sure.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
But this was still one of my boundaries. So like, if you can't, like, we had agreed on this and now you guys are going back. So like, I'm sorry, but this is one of my boundaries. I'm gonna stick to it.
Good for you.
So at the end of that day, he called me saying, I'm sorry, we're gonna do as you say, like, we not do as you say, but stick to what we agreed to.
Okay.
And like, we're okay to continue. Like,
They're
so
like
she just like,
up and down. Like what? Okay.
yeah.
Causing you unnecessary stress. It's just okay. All right.
You're not even pregnant yet.
This could have been avoided if like you would have let it simmer before calling me crying.
Yeah. Right.
It's not fun because like I'm a people pleaser. So I kind of
get you.
want to please them as much as possible and be there for them, but I also have boundaries and I also have my family to take care of.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's good. That's hard when you're a people pleaser to set boundaries and to keep them. Like a lot of the times people crumble. I know I'm a people pleaser too. And it's really easy to crumble when you just want to make other people happy. So kudos to you. Because I don't care how small or big it is. It doesn't matter. If it's a boundary you set, it's a boundary that needs to be respected.
Correct.
Yeah. And anyways, so that's done. We end up signing contracts finally.
Okay.
And then we set to start trying to transfer in September. Okay. We start daily monitoring, blood work, whatever. And then my lining was way too thick, like way too thick. I think I was at like a 21.
Oh my gosh. And you're not taking any meds. It's just how your cycle went that month. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it's like, okay, weird, but obviously my body's not ready for this. So let's try again next month.
Look at your attitude. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to force my body to be ready because if it's not, I know my body is going to retaliate.
For sure.
Like I know my body.
Yeah,
I know my body pretty well by now.
Yeah.
So then, so for my first journey with the fertility clinic, the intended parents get one doctor, and I get a doctor for myself. So that way I have somebody advocating for me and they have somebody advocating for them.
Okay.
It was great.
I
so
love
like
that.
I had his wife and he had the intended parents. Yeah.
Okay.
So the second journey, wife was on mat leave. So it's just him. Yeah. So I had nobody advocating for me but me.
Right.
So and obviously it's easier for doctor to control everything with medication, right?
Yeah.
So second in October we attempt again. Same issues. Same issues. I'm still too thick. And now he wants to do Lupron to reset my body. Which, not on board with it, but if it's just that, fine.
Okay.
Like, fine. I agreed to it because I had the intended parents on my back, I had him on my back, and I also had the agency on my back.
No, the agency.
Which, so the agency I had gotten really close with. She was a really good friend of mine. I went up to visit her a few times. And like, keep in mind, my first journey was textbook. Everything was easy. I was no work for her.
Right.
And I was willing to post whatever on social media.
Sure.
So like, I was good for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that I needed the support and I needed the help,
they weren't there. They weren't.
They were not there. They were
Oh,
not
I'm
there.
so
They
sorry,
were
Chantale.
even shoving things that they did for me in my face.
Stop.
Which, yeah.
Wow.
So like, when I had issues like with the transfers and whatnot in my lining, like, I would reach out to her as a friend and support person, saying, okay, well, this is going on. Like, do you think the doctor might have time for me today? Because she knew the doctor's schedule and all that. So I'd reach out to her, but then she would take it upon her to bother the doctor at night or on weekends or whatever. It's like, I never asked you to. I never asked you to. Like, I would have been fine waiting, or you could have simply told me, well, I'm not sure. Why don't you email them? That's very easy. Very easy to do that.
Right.
But instead, she shoved everything in my face. I do this for you. You're just gonna have to do like everybody else and email the clinic. It's like,
whoa.
Well, I never asked you to bother the doctor on weekends or at nights. And like, I never did. Wow. And I never would. I know everybody has a life. I'm like, I have a head on my shoulders. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's like, okay, now that I need support, you no longer want to be there for me. All right, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you don't really have the support of the clinic because you don't have your advocate.
And the clinic is very good friends with her.
Of course they are.
Yep. Wow. Which is fine. It is what it is.
Well, it is what it is now, but during the time, I'm really sorry that
I didn't realize how stressed I was.
Yeah. Like no support. Were you in any groups like that could help, like Canadian like face group, any type of support groups?
I was in the surrogacy surrogate group.
Were they kind?
The agencies. I wasn't posting on there much because
Okay.
Yeah. So then October rolls around. I'm still too thick. We do Lupron. And at the end of the 4 weeks, he wanted to wait to check. I was still a bit too thick.
Really?
Talking about your body letting you know that, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
So then he puts me on another, I think, Provera, I believe. Okay. It's another medication to thin your lining. And at the end of that 10 days, then you're supposed to start a period and shed your lining.
Okay.
So I started bleeding before that. So I'm like, that's when I reached out to the clinic, and I'm like, not the clinic, the agency. And I told her like, okay, the doctor told me that I should bleed after. So like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know about this medication. So like, I'm bleeding right now. What do I do? Do I reach out? And that's where she shoved everything in my face. So I just stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where I just stopped, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm on my own. That's fine.
Okay.
I deal with shit better on my own. I'm used to not having support. I'm just gonna stick to not having support.
Oh, but that's a shame because that's a stressful situation. But
it is.
And
that's a lot.
You have nobody on your side.
Right.
Yeah. And to know, like, to come from such a good journey where things were going as planned, and you know, nothing was really, you weren't hitting any walls, and then to get to here and it's like, well, wait, this isn't something that I'm intentionally doing. I'm just looking for advice and support. Like, I'm not trying to, like, you're not being annoying. Like, you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. Like, it's just, this is how this time is going around. I feel your frustration because I've been there, and I really hate that you had nobody, like, at all.
And it's like, the agencies literally get paid for being support.
Correct. Yeah.
Like that's like,
Yeah.
especially in Canada, where like that's why you usually sign up with an agency, because you want the support.
Okay.
And
So
you
yeah,
weren't getting it.
so
Wow.
yeah, no, not on that journey.
So did you get a
So
hold of the doctor
then,
yourself about this early bleeding, or did you let it go?
I don't remember who got a hold of him, or I don't remember.
Sure.
But it
But
was
anyway,
addressed.
so yeah, it was addressed. I ended up doing an ultrasound. Kate, lining's fine. Oh, we're gonna do a medicated cycle now. No,
What?
I wanted to do a natural cycle, but all of a sudden we're doing a medicated cycle because it's easier to control on his part, obviously. Yeah.
Right.
So everybody's on my back. It's like,
Did
you know
you
what?
agree to that?
Whatever.
You did?
Whatever, I'll try it.
Oh, Chantale.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
We transferred in December. We got to a transfer. We got the positive P sticks.
Oh.
And then we got a chemical pregnancy.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. How are you? I want to ask how you
Yeah.
are at this
Yeah.
point. Like, are you boiling over right now, or are you still trying to
I'm
calm?
I'm frustrated
Yeah.
because nobody has my back,
Mm-mm.
because my boundaries were crossed many times,
Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
while I'm just trying to help them get their
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And like, that's literally, I want nothing else but you guys to get your baby. Like, this is my goal.
Yeah.
And they were friends. I've known her since high school.
Oh,
And
gosh.
that makes it hard sometimes. There's a line.
I
Yeah.
know the type of person she is, so I knew this wasn't going to be an easy journey, but fine with me. I
Okay.
can handle a lot.
Okay.
Like, that's
So
fine.
did that medicated cycle give you the migraines, and were you just
Yep.
miserable? Yeah.
Yep. Within a week of starting the medication, I got a migraine, so I was up for 2 days.
So sorry.
Yep. So like, and we had talked, like, if natural cycle doesn't work, would you be open to trying it? I'm like, well, like, if after a few months, it, like, my cycle really doesn't line up, I'm probably gonna get fed up and say, screw it, let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
To kind
tried
of be
it.
told you have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
a choice. It was just
Yeah.
thrust upon you. This is what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, this,
Wow.
like, I don't want to rely, like, they had put stuff in place, like, if I get migraines, I'd call them and they'd come over and take care of my kids, blah blah blah. But it's like,
Ugh.
I'm the mom. I
Yeah.
want to take care of my kids. I don't want
Yes.
them to start to resent me being a surrogate.
Right.
And they were
Aw.
starting to. And like,
Aw.
yeah. Yeah.
Aw.
So anyway, so go through Christmas having just had a chemical pregnancy. That blew, because we were all so excited about finally being
Right.
pregnant. Yay, we got there finally.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
kidding. No, we did not.
Right.
Dang.
Yeah. So then January comes around and I'm like, Kate, no, I'm gonna listen to my body. If my
Yeah.
body is not ready and we can't do a natural cycle, and I even told them, like, I'm fine going up to Toronto to do the monitoring there. That way, if they need to, like, trigger me or whatever for ovulation, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I was
How,
open to that.
how far is Toronto? Is that the 8-hour drive?
Yep. 9.
Okay. 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would have been fine taking time
Okay.
off, bringing my kids with me, because
Okay.
single mom. I would have been fine taking the time to go there and do it there and transfer
Wow.
there, so I can have my natural cycle.
You are
You
very kind.
are
Very
because I want to remind people you're a Canadian surrogate, so
Yeah.
compensation works so differently, and like
We don't get some compensated.
exactly, and the amount of cycles that you've gone through, and the amount of time and time off, and like, it's just all wrapping up in my head, and I'm like, oh well, that wouldn't be as big of a issue here, in a sense, when it comes to finances and everything like that. But because you are a single mom, so like, it's taking more on it. Just
Right.
oh my God, I'm so frustrated for you. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, and I had to address this, like, I think before signing contracts. Like, I would be fine to go monitor there if that's what the clinic wants. I'm fine with that. That
Okay.
option's there. It's open. Nope, they wanted to do Medicaid. So in January, we met up with the doctor again, and we had a lining check, and nope, lining still funky. No, he couldn't pinpoint when I ovulated, so he just canceled the cycle. Yeah. So, and at that point, like I told them, well, I'm not gonna try a medicated cycle again. My body clearly told me no.
You think? Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to my natural cycle. But again, I'm fine going up to Toronto if like we can do natural cycle there. And then they broke things off.
Then they
Like,
what?
no, sorry. We had a meeting with the doctor all together, and it kind of felt like a them against me type of thing.
So
Yeah.
wrong. Like
Yeah,
part of
so
surrogacy is being in the right mind to go through all of this.
I just absolutely hate that because everybody's going after you and it's like you're the one who's trying to do everything right. I don't get it. Like it makes
These are her friends. Like
I
that's
know.
such a different layer on
Oh
top
no, it's a
of
huge
that.
different layer.
Like, oh God. I fear this friendship is no longer, but I will wait till you
no
get to the
longer.
end of that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So he suggests we cancels the cycle. He says, okay, we're going to do medicated. And your response is, yeah,
So
no way.
he didn't really suggest. He said like this the best case would be medicated because I'm far and it's harder to control when it's natural. It's like, okay, but I like the options on the table. It's right here. I'm fine with going to Toronto and trying again. I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's there. But they did not want to pay my expenses to do that. So sorry. That's one of my boundaries. I need to put my kids, my family first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my
Good for
kids are
you.
starting to resent this a lot.
Yeah.
They are
I mean-
noticing the appointments. My daughter is feeling my stress. And it's not fair to them. It's
No.
not. Like they didn't sign up for this.
No, and no one is benefiting. No one on either
Yeah.
party is benefiting from this at this
Yeah.
point. It's
Good
just
for you,
too much.
Chantale. We talk about that's one of the
Yep.
reasons we started this. Just speak up for yourself, be your own advocate. Like, but you had to be your own advocate with your intended parents being your
Times
friends.
100.
Like,
Yeah.
to me, that
Living in the same town that I see them
Right.
and I see them around town.
Still?
Yeah, of course. We live in the same town. We're going to see each other for the rest of our lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Had that gone well, that would have been a phenomenal scenario because you get to see the surrogate baby.
Right.
But had that gone wrong, which it did, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
So at that point, I was at a breaking point. Like I'm loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
When I give my word to somebody, my word is there. That's it. Like I'm not backing out.
Right.
But at that point, I was afraid that they wouldn't back out.
Yeah.
Because then I had to call it. So I'm thankful that they backed out because it was toxic for me. It was probably toxic for them because I wasn't abiding by their every rule.
Yeah. And yes, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah, even though I set my boundaries.
Yeah.
Right.
Before signing contracts.
Right.
I wasn't bending them.
Right.
They probably never thought those things would have to be addressed because your first cycle was so textbook. Like, but things happen, people. Like that's why contracts are in place. That's why we have them so that everybody can follow what was agreed upon.
Yeah.
So
my God.
Yeah. So now I will see them in town, and if he's alone, he'll say hi. He'll wave.
Really?
If he's alone.
Okay.
She will look past me as if there is nobody there, as if there's not even a human there. She will not acknowledge me in any way. She will avoid me at every cost, which is like, I kind of invested a year of my life in conversations and in trying to get you your family, and you're not even able to say hi.
She needs some therapy. I'm being nice. Like, I'm being nice. Just really seriously to help her grieve through this. Let's
I
fast
think
forward
she's
a little. Do they have a child yet or no? Still trying.
I believe they found a surrogate. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I hope it's not somebody they know.
Yeah.
So that they can treat her with more respect.
Yeah. And
or
not take
either
advantage.
that or that she just is ready to say yes to everything. Like I hope it works out. I really do. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still my goal for them to have a child, just
Yeah.
not with me.
You're very
Yeah.
genuine, Chantale. Very
No,
genuine.
you're amazing. Like you said, this is where my mind just blows, and like Canada annoys me. Like you just went through a whole year, basically you devoted your life, and I don't see how your family benefited from that. Like, and
Yep.
that's what's
Yeah.
so frustrating. And like I want people to like storm Parliament and be like, no, like we're the good people here. Like,
Yeah.
if agencies can get paid, you guys should too. But it's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing. How are
Yeah.
you mentally,
Yeah.
like from that?
When did that break, Chantale? Like February, March,
January.
January of 2023?
Yep.
Okay, so we're 9 months in. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and they still can't say hi, which
That's
is what
sad.
it is. I gave my word. I
Yeah.
tried as much as I could
Yeah.
until I got to my breaking point, but thankfully they were able to call it off on their own.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so yeah.
So are you doing okay with all of that now? Like, or how are you?
You got back on the horse, didn't you? Because you're in a third journey, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, yay,
I'm,
Chantale!
I'm kind of hard-headed, just a little bit.
Yeah,
You're best
good.
friends, because I
That's a
swear to God.
good. I love it. It's a good quality to have.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So I still have a hard time sometimes. I'm still bitter because like we were good friends.
Yeah.
We were good friends. Like we
Yeah.
didn't see each other every day, but we were good friends. Like we've
Yeah.
known each other for so long, and to just like it's like the minute I agreed to be their surrogate, I was no longer a person and a friend. I was now an object.
Wow.
Oh,
You felt
That's
that?
kind of that's
You-
how I feel.
Wow.
That's how I feel because they were
I'm sorry.
they
I-
so easily tossed me aside, and it's like it's not fair.
No.
Like I'm
No.
still rooting for them.
Yeah.
Like I always will be.
yeah.
Everyone deserves to have their family.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Like
Really
By
do.
whatever
But
means they can to have that family for sure. Wow. Oh, that's such a shame. It
but
really is.
you're not an object. You are a
Nope.
person. And
Yep.
that's why I was saying earlier, like it felt like they were they were teaming up on you, and they were acting in a way like they
Yeah.
owned you.
Yeah.
And I'm clearly sensitive to that, and I hate that, and I think that
Yeah.
that's so wrong, and it makes it so much more complicated and worse at the fact that like you knew each other beforehand. Like I don't ever have to see my couple again, but like right, you unfortunately have to like walk around town and like and see them like in a grocery store or something, and it's just like, oh, it's like you relive it at times.
So
and
how
especially
are
with
you?
my kids.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
my kids will see them around town. It's like they love like my son loved his relationship with the intended dad. So like my son, like when I told my daughter like I'm not gonna carry a baby for them, my daughter was relieved.
Okay.
It sucks to say that
No,
she was
but
at
hey,
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the
My
older one,
son,
correct? Is she
Yeah.
older? Okay.
my son didn't quite whatever, but later on he realized like we're not gonna see him again, and like it really hit him. So it's like, yeah,
Oh.
no, unfortunately we're not.
right.
And like so it sucked.
Yeah. So then
But
he has
like
to process that loss. Because seriously,
yeah,
those people were going to be in your lives forever if y'all had a baby
yeah,
together. Like seriously.
yep,
Yeah. Oh, what a shame. And it's a shame they
yeah.
can't still be in your life. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Lord God. So
If you ever do one, hit me up.
how did you, I'm just curious what you did, because you said you're very independent and you kind of just are strong-headed and you just keep going forward. What did you do for yourself? Like big long talks with yourself, or did you just put it out of your head? Like you had to have done something to be able to be this, number one, be able to talk about it, and number two, be able to move on. Is that just you? Like you're so,
Yeah,
you are, whew, girl, I'm impressed. Seriously, I'd be a bucket. I'd be a puddle. I would be, oh my God, I tried so hard and look how I was treated. Yeah.
yeah. So when things were ending, I called up my first intended mom to like know her opinion. Okay, like
Yeah.
what am I doing wrong here? Or like how like I pretty much wanted someone to talk to
Yes.
process my feelings. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what I did.
Okay.
And that's when I decided like, okay, if they don't end this, I need to, because this
You're
is
going
no
to. Okay.
longer, yeah,
Good
this
for
is
you.
not healthy for me anymore. This is
Good
not,
for you.
I can't do this anymore.
Good for you.
Yeah, so when things ended, my first intended parents had somewhat put it out there that, oh, well, like, I know you, like, because when I did my first journey, I said, well, you have 2 embryos. What if the first one works? What are you doing with the second one?
Yeah.
Just because that's me.
Yeah.
So my intended mom had reached out just to have a conversation about it. Anyways, it turns out they're not ready. They were not ready. Like, we had conversations about it, and I had an appointment, like, we got an appointment and an ultrasound done to check if I was fine. I was back to normal.
Okay. Of course you were.
Yeah.
That makes me think, when you kept telling me that it was too thick, are you seeing the screen? Is he showing it to you? Because by the time you have all those, you could probably tell. So I'm wondering if he's keeping the screen away from you and go, oh, yep, no, too thick. Want to do it medicated.
So it's the same doctor. It was the same doctor that checked me afterwards. And like, the week things ended with my second intended parents,
Yeah.
I got that same cramp, same contraction I had on sono day.
Oh.
Weird, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you
And
think that was?
my
You don't
body
know.
go back to normal.
Yeah, right.
Saying,
Saying
okay,
now,
we're
now that
stress free
you,
now. We're good.
yep, look at you. Wow.
Yeah. So we did an ultrasound. The cycle after, because my first intended mom and I were having conversations like, well, what about a sibling journey? And did an ultrasound. I was back to normal. We were gonna, like, I told them, like, we just had different timelines, so we weren't listening to each other.
Oh.
Yeah, they wanted to start later, but I told them, like, I'm ready to start early. Like, I've been at it since September. Like,
For sure.
I'm good. I want to
Yeah.
get this going. But they were not ready, and that's where they decided to take their space.
Okay.
Because we used to FaceTime every week.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's where they decided to take their space, which I respect. I
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah.
Like, I told them, like, I understand if you guys need to take your space, but like, I want to do another journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it
So
be with them or someone
Right, or
else.
someone
Uh,
else,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So that's pretty much where, like, they sent me messages after that, like, saying happy birthday or happy Mother's Day or whatnot, but never any updates or anything.
Hmm.
So it kind of hurt, but like, I
Yeah.
think 2 weeks ago I got a message with an actual update. It's like, and that's where I took the opportunity to tell them, like, you guys kind of hurt me by pushing me aside, because I had just gotten tossed
Yes.
aside by my second intended parents. Now I get tossed aside by my first intended parents. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to help people here. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not a
Right.
saint. I'm not perfect.
Uh-uh.
But like, anyways, so
Yeah. Wow. That's
yeah.
sad.
Oh,
So
I'm so
How did they
sorry.
react to that?
they never answered.
Of course. Once
She's
again.
the type, she takes time to process things,
Okay.
to word them properly, because she's very sensitive, so she doesn't want to hurt anybody. She doesn't want to hurt a fly. She doesn't like confrontation.
Yeah.
So like, she's taking the time to process things, or maybe they'll never answer. I have no idea, but I needed to say my piece to get it off my chest.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And maybe she thinks, maybe she didn't see it that they were inflicting hurt on you. Maybe she didn't see it that way. And when you brought it to the attention, maybe that hit her hard, because I'm very sensitive as well. And if somebody says I hurt them, I'm like, oh my God, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
But she might just be internalizing, but I'm not a psychosocial person, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, poor thing, still by yourself, like,
Oh.
I do
What
best
do
by
you do
myself.
oh my God, what do you do next? You have a very dynamic aura about you. Like, it's going to take a lot to just squash you, and I would never want to squash you, but I'm just saying, if those two instances didn't squash you, bounce back up, here we go again.
I was married for 4 years with somebody very toxic, and I got out of there, and like, my confidence was probably this big.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of growth since then, and I'm not willing to let that go
Good
down.
for you.
I did a lot of work.
No.
Love it.
So,
Woohoo.
yeah.
I love it.
Well, it
Yeah.
shows. It shows. I
Yeah.
didn't know you before, but you are very, very confident is the word. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. So what happens now that you've just, like, you're slap. Now here we go. What's happening?
So when I was first looking at intended parent profiles for my first journey with that agency, I was between two couples.
Oh.
Obviously, one uterus I can only carry for one.
Yeah.
So I went with the one that I had the most connection with. Not that I had any less connection, but
Just felt a pull,
like,
more.
yeah.
More
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So they ended up having a daughter that so my third intended parents ended up having a daughter via surrogacy through his sister-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
think they were like 6 months behind my first journey.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like, awesome. Yay. Good for them. But so they reached out like March, April.
Who reached out?
My third intended parents.
On
Yeah.
what?
Wait, they knew about you?
Well, they followed me on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they reached out saying like, oh, this is our daughter. We got her through series. It's like, oh my God, I've been wanting to reach out for forever, but it's not really my place because I didn't pick them.
Look at that.
So I was like, oh, yay. So yeah, yeah.
They were looking for a sibling journey?
They wanted to do a sibling journey. Yep.
Oh my God, that's exciting. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you're on the sibling journey, aren't you?
Right?
Yep.
I was like, wait, don't say I'm wrong. I stalked your profile. I know things.
How many weeks?
Yeah. I'm 17 weeks.
Yay.
That's
How
awesome.
are you feeling?
I was very exhausted and nauseous.
Yeah.
Nauseous has that left. I'm still exhausted, but I'm also fighting a cold right now. So that's super wonderful having a cold pregnant, you know?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Oh, question. Did you do a natural cycle?
Natural. That was my question. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So these intended parents, I updated on my entire life situation.
As you should.
All of it.
Good.
They were, I don't think I've met anybody as supportive as they are.
You're kidding.
Yeah. They're equally, if not as pushy as I am.
Okay.
So they have my back.
Love
Good.
it.
Oh, you don't want to do this medication? Not a problem. Let's talk to the doctor.
I love that.
And it's been amazing.
Yeah.
They have my back.
Good.
If I don't have a voice, they will have it for me.
Good.
You were meant to not
Yeah.
go with them first. You were absolutely meant not to. Because
Well,
now
if I would have got, they wouldn't have had their daughter because the sister-in-law would probably not have carried for them if they had a child already.
Correct. But they're way supportive than any of your other people have been. And they're going to be your advocates. So meant to be. Meant to be. Do they know the sex?
Yeah, we found out it's a boy.
Oh, yay!
So they have their daughter and they're having a boy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
So when we got everything done very quick.
So okay, they reach out when? Let's back up. They reach out to you
at the end of April, beginning of May.
Of 20.
Well, that's when we matched.
Okay.
Like we officially decided, let's do this.
Okay.
And
And then you transfer when?
48 days later.
Shit, that's what I was gonna say. If you're 17 weeks, I'm just in my head doing the math, going, bam, 48 days later.
Oh, that would never happen here. Ever.
So when you put pushy with pushy,
things happen.
Things get done.
Yeah.
I love that.
Obviously, they already have embryos, right?
Yeah. They matched my energy perfectly.
Yes.
Because they were very as eager as I was. So.
Oh my gosh.
So did we answer that? Did you do a natural cycle? Pretty much.
I did. Yeah.
With that same doc.
So no, this is a different doctor. Yeah, this is a different clinic entirely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And the only difference with the cycle, a few difference. So I didn't take I think it was a steroid and a antibiotic that I took the first journey, and the second did not this time.
Okay. Nice.
But we did trigger shots.
Okay.
What's a trigger shot?
So they pretty much force you to ovulate, but which I was fine with. Like I had agreed to it. There was initially 3 trigger shots, but then they changed it to 4, but we got the 4th one dropped.
Okay. And did it do its job? Obviously.
Yep.
It had to have, because you're 48 days later, you're getting pregnant.
Yep.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So you're independent now.
Good girl.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Well,
Okay.
I've been through it,
Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
like obvious agencies can support you if they choose to, but don't always.
Right.
So I didn't want to go through the all searching for another agency.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I pretty much knew these people because I already
Yeah.
dated them.
Right.
Mhm.
So
You were gonna pick, they were one of your 2 top picks.
Yep.
Right. There you go.
Yep.
Gosh.
so everything went extremely smoothly. For the monitoring, I did go up to Toronto to do it. We stayed
You
at
did.
their place. My mom came with us. My
Aw.
mom was extremely grateful to have met them and be part of it, which it wouldn't have
Nice.
happened with the first intended parents because they're more reserved.
Okay.
The
Whereas
first
these
intended
people are
parents
out
more
there.
reserved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas
You
the
know
third
what?
one, they're out there just like me.
I can touch on that a little bit because when Kennedy she did 3 of her journeys and she lived with us at the time, like she included me on those. And I really think if she hadn't, I would have felt a little left out. Like,
Well, there's also a difference though. You have history of surrogacy, so you'd be like, how are you
do.
doing this and I'm not involved? Like,
But even if you did, that's true. But even if I didn't and you were doing something as miraculous as that, I would want to be able to a little bit a part of it. So I think that's very
yeah.
cool. Your mom got to be in on it. That's
Well,
very
I'm so independent that I've never even, it didn't cross my mind because I don't need anybody there for me, but I
Yeah.
need to be there for other people too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's okay to sometimes have other people
Mama-
there for you too, Chantale.
I know.
Okay.
I know,
Okay.
and I'm accepting it more.
Good.
It's
And like
hard.
yeah.
It's hard. When you're in single mom brain, it
Mhm.
yeah. Ain't nobody doing it. It is
Nope.
me
Yeah.
all the way.
It's fend
Thank
for
you
yourself.
very much.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
people can be there for you. It's all good. It
Mhm.
takes time. I know.
Yeah.
But no, that's sweet. How fun for her. So then,
Yeah.
Wait, I want to hear how the kids are. I want to hear how your kids
Okay.
are with this one now, because
Very
now you're in another
They love
journey.
them.
They
They
love
love them. They love them. Like, so before we agreed to match, I was FaceTiming with them, and like my daughter just popped up and she was curious, like, oh, who are you talking to? And oh, just new friends. And later on, like I asked her, like, so what did you think about them? Like, you know how I'm not gonna be carrying for intended parents number 2.
Mhm.
How would you feel if I would carry for them? Oh, they're really nice. They're really nice.
Oh.
I'm fine with that. It's like,
How
okay, cool, because
sweet.
we're doing it.
And your son was good too.
Yeah.
I know
loves
he's
them.
younger, but yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think that's because just because you're doing, I mean, the whole family has to get involved. And I know you're a
Yeah.
single mom, 2 children. They're going to be a part of it. It's going to affect their lives.
Yeah.
We saw how well it affected their lives and how negatively it affected their lives. So
Yeah.
let's do another positive one. And it looks like it is. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Like we've had no hiccups. It's
How far away are they from you?
they're
Drive-wise?
in Toronto, so they're
Oh,
9
this is
hours.
the 9
Yeah.
hour. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But you'll deliver back in your town again, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll come here for that.
Okay, that's great.
They're actually coming for the 20-week ultrasound, which is gonna be great.
Yay!
Yeah. They're gonna
So
be staying with
exciting.
us. So the kids are pretty pumped.
Oh, that's so cool. How old's their little girl?
So she's actually gonna stay back home
Okay.
because it's a long drive and they think it's gonna be stressful for her because she's never been in the car for that long.
Fair.
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
But she's from April 2022. No,
2021,
April
right?
2022. No, April
2022?
2022. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so like 18
She's
months.
little.
17, 18. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
And if
Yeah,
you're
they're going to be
17,
close in age. They're
Yeah.
going to be closer than my kids are.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if parents are up for the challenge, more power to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
More power to them.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So then for this, is your mom more involved
Yeah.
now? Like she's more of like a back support in this journey? In a sense?
For me, not necessarily, but she's involved. Like when they come down, my mom's going to be with us. So she gets to see them again. And like, yeah.
Sweet. So when it comes to delivery then,
Yeah.
are you gonna now have a support person for you there or just still, nope, we're still doing just
Nope.
like these. All
Yep.
right.
I'm just going to do my thing.
Good
Your
for
thing,
you.
girl.
Well, it sounds like you've connected with them. At least, I mean,
Yeah.
your personalities just line up. So if that works for you, that works for you. First baby, you didn't have any medication for delivery, right? Because it was so fast. Yeah. And is that your go-to? Like, you don't like to have medication? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, so my first my daughter, I had the mask on, so like
Oh.
the
Oh, the oxygen?
gas, and I hated it. I hated it. I felt out of it. I felt stoned.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
with the mask, what were they pumping through the mask?
I have no idea, but I felt stoned.
Interesting. Okay.
So never again. It's like, nope, I'm just gonna suffer through it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna live. It's
Yeah.
been like I've done it 3 times now, so I'm just
That's
gonna
right.
live.
That's right.
I'm just gonna suffer,
Okay.
and I don't want to be out of it.
Great.
It's
Good for you.
I didn't like that at all.
So you don't even do like epidurals?
No, nothing. Good for
I
you.
mean, I wouldn't have time either.
Right.
That's fair. You did go really quick. Well,
So
with your
far.
son, you
So
could have.
far.
Your son, it was longer.
yeah.
You still you toughed that out 16 hours?
Yep. Yeah, that
Oh.
one sucked. That one sucked.
Hello. Bow down. I can't. 16 hours. Oh my God.
Yeah. When he was finally out, it's like, oh my God, no more, never again. I remember saying that. Never again. I'm not having any more kids. And here I am.
And here we
Here
are.
you are.
Here we are.
And they're not even mine.
That's so funny. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
Well, okay.
Those were
So
all 3 very different journeys. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah,
love it.
very.
Do you have any advice for anybody who says, "Hey, Chantale, I want to be a surrogate"?
Do your research.
Yeah.
But everything worked out for me because I do everything all over again. Every single one, I do it all over again
Okay.
because it brought me to where I am today.
Yeah.
And I would have still, like, I'm the person to jump in. So if somebody's like me, they're not going to do research. They're just going to jump in. But
And
my
be the
advice
yes
is
girl.
do the research. Do
Yeah.
the research. Keep your boundaries.
Mhm.
Like that's a very
That's a
important.
big
Keep your boundaries.
Yeah.
Don't speak to only one agency. Speak to multiple ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like if they're eager to get you to sign, kind of back off
Mhm.
and take a look at everything. Because if they're eager, it's like
It's great
it's good,
advice.
but like at the same time, you need to analyze everything properly.
Yes.
Like when you're excited about something, you don't look at things properly. You just jump in.
You
Correct.
don't.
That's
And
great advice.
I like to say that when it comes to like, right, like you said, like look at several agencies, like talk to several of them. I want girls to know you're not being interviewed, you're interviewing them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you get to pick.
Mhm.
They're lucky to have you. So like just keep that in your little back pocket.
And there's a really big difference in agencies via US. I don't think such a big difference in Canada because you guys are just compensated differently. But
Yeah, but
packages here,
still how you're treated.
true. But everybody's gonna put their nice face
But-
on when you first contact
Exactly.
you, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. The agency I worked with was amazing.
When
Until I needed
things
help.
right, when things were
You're
going
here.
smooth. Right. We hear so much of that. I don't want to keep hearing that. I really don't. It's sad.
And
Super
it's
sad.
like I'm not gonna name them. I never
No.
will.
Of
No.
course.
Surrogates are afraid to talk about their bad experience.
Oh, we need to. We need to.
It's
Yeah.
yes. I think speaking as a surrogate who had an awful experience, I was afraid too because I had to be insanely careful about what I say because there's no way I'm gonna deal with any backlash. And so now when people are like,
Exactly.
"Oh, like how'd that journey go?" I'm like, "Well, you can just go listen to it because I'm not gonna second chance it anymore." Like,
That's funny.
Yeah.
just go listen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. But it can be scary to tell the really hard stories or scary stories or
But it's
messy
kind of
stories.
therapeutic too when you're able
Yeah.
to talk and have a platform or have people that can kind of
Relate.
get what you're saying. Like, oh, I'm doing a surrogacy. Hold on a second, and maybe kind of give them tips and tricks of maybe look out for these red flags. Just
Yeah.
be cautious. Yeah. Conversations are great. And we so appreciate you coming on and
my
giving
gosh,
the
yeah.
bad and the good. Seriously.
Yeah. And
It's
now
hard to
the
get
I'm
that.
happy I was
great.
able to. Yes.
Yeah.
This is so fun. I'm so excited for you.
Yes, this is great.
Thank you.
This is great. When are you due? I'm not going to count forward.
February 29th.
Hello, late baby year.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But you'll probably go. Do you think you'll go early because you went early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm knocking on wood. I'm
Knocking.
going early.
There we go. There we
Not
go.
late.
Usually. Yeah. Not too
Yeah.
early, but early enough is fine.
Well, I know we
Yeah.
went a little over, Chantale. We do appreciate it, though. You had a lot
Oh,
of
that's fine.
really good information.
Yes.
So thank you for staying on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Absolutely.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh,
Thank you,
absolutely.
thank you. And all the positive thoughts for this journey. All the positive thoughts.
Well,
Have a great rest of your evening. And
yes.
thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Seriously, we learn
Yeah.
something new every single time we talk to people. It's like amazing.
Yeah, everybody has a different story. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like it's
And we can all learn
like
from each other. I think that's what's important.
so my cousin, so on top of it all, I got my cousin. Well, no, I didn't get her. She was thinking about being a surrogate
Okay.
before,
Okay.
but she signed up with my with the agency I was with. So she
Okay.
signed up with them, and well, she had a successful journey, and she gave birth 2 months ago.
Good for her. She wants to do another journey.
She had 4 kids in 5 years, so she's taking a break.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no twins, all singles.
Woo.
Yep. Yeah,
All
so
Look
right.
forward to her.
but
enough,
I kind of have a feeling she might dip back into it later.
a little addicting.
So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For all the good reasons. Oh my.
Well, thanks again, Chantale, for your time. It's really, really,
Thank you so much,
really
ladies.
pleasant talking to you.
Thank you.
Really pleasant.
Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
You guys too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, my heart goes out to her. I can relate to her in so many ways, and it just
Yeah.
makes me feel so crummy for her.
But whew, she has got some just
She's got resilience.
yeah, that's the word that I was looking for.
I know,
Yes.
right?
And
I know.
determination.
Hell
Like
yeah.
here. So I'm so glad things worked out.
Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh.
happy for her.
And
Yeah,
this
that's
is
great.
everything happens. Well, I believe everything happens for a
I
reason.
do. I
And
believe it too.
she kind of alluded to that belief too. And so
Yes.
she's grateful that, everything happened because now she's where she's at. And she's 17 weeks pregnant and like with an amazing couple. And heck yes.
Awesome. I
Like,
love it.
absolutely.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much for sharing, Chantale, because
Yes.
sometimes sharing stories like that, like we said, can be a little hard and
Opens
like
up
hard to
wounds
get in.
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Opens up wounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's therapeutic too, if you think about it. So other people are going to learn
For
from it.
some
So it's
people,
great
it's therapeutic, but it's
Yeah.
also a great way for others to learn.
to
and
learn. Yep.
Everything like that. So thank you so, so, so much.
Yes. Thank you.
If you guys have any questions or would like to share your story, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Stop.Sit.Surrogate. And this has been another episode of Stop, Sit, Surrogate with Kennedy and Ellen.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.